Fellow expats, welcome. Today in this video I'm going to explain how to pronounce C, K and Q in French, and you will see that it is very easy, so please stay tuned. K is definitely the easiest of the three. As you can see in this chart, K in French is exactly the same as K in English. K is very rare in French. It occurs in words with a Greek origin, where kilo means 1,000, like in kilomètre or kilogramme, kilometer, kilogram. And it also occurs in words that come from the English, such as cake. So let's take a look at C now. So in French, C before A, O, or U is hard. By hard, I mean it's pronounced like a K, which also happens for some words in English. So here you can see the words carte, copain, cure. Obviously, had you had a K there, it would have been the same. C followed by E or I is soft, like in the words ceci, cité, cirque. Some words, like cueillir here, have a hard C, but here you can see that there is a U between the C and the E, thus the hard sound, like a K. CH is a completely different story. CH in French is pronounced like SH in English. For instance, chapeau, which means hat. To get the sound that you have in chicken, you need to put a T in front of the CH in French. So here you have examples like caoutchouc, which means rubber, and match, which has the same meaning as in English. Okay, so now let's take a look at letter Q. There are similarities between English and French, because in both languages, Q is usually followed by U. The difference is in the way it is pronounced. In English, you say Quebec, whereas in French, you say Québec. Therefore, the QU in French is pronounced like a K. So now let's talk about public holidays. In the English-speaking world, we tend to say bank holidays. In France, it's public holidays, and in French, they're called jours fériés. In France, there are 11 such public holidays that you can see in the chart here. Bear with me for a couple of minutes and I'll show you the chart in English as well. Okay, a couple of things to note. First and foremost is that if a holiday is on a Saturday or a Sunday, you don't get the Monday off, okay? It's lost. It's part of the weekend, it's lost. Nothing you can do about it. The other thing to note is that the only holiday that is absolutely mandatory is May Day, 1st of May. Everything else is optional. It means the employer decides whether you get the day off or not. But by and large, everybody abides to this list, so not to worry. As a consequence, you will see many stores that are open on holidays. For instance, on the 8th of May or on Ascension, they won't be closed. But you can be sure that they will be closed. All stores in all of the country will be closed on May Day. Finally, Whit Monday is also optional. Well, I just told you that all the other holidays except for May Day are optional, but this one is even more optional. What that means is that employers will contribute a certain amount of money. They will pay that to the government, and they expect people to work on that day. So it means instead of being paid to stay home or to go somewhere on a holiday, well, you will be paid, but you will be working. Does it sound crazy? I agree with you. It's completely nuts. By the way, this day is called Journée de Solidarité, the Day of Solidarity. It needn't be Whit Monday, it could be another day, or it could be some other form that it takes. For instance, your employer will give you one less day of paid leave, and that will allow your employer to pay that tax. Okay, so what about paid vacation? Also called annual leave, and in French, congé payé. So the rule is pretty simple. By law, everybody gets 5 weeks per year. Now, it also depends on what kind of contract you have. If you have a 35-hour-a-week contract, then that's all you get. But if you have a different contract where you are allowed to work more than 35 hours in 1 week, then you may have extra days off. Those extra days off are called RTT, or rather in French, RTT, réduction du temps de travail. Basically, you can get anywhere between 10 and 18 extra days with that system. So here, something very strange happens. The main 5 weeks, which by the way could be more, it depends sometimes on seniority in some companies. For instance, you could have an extra day for every 5 years with the same company. So those 5 weeks, basically, they are accrued from June 1 to May 31st of the following year. And then you're supposed to take your 5 weeks after June 1 of that following year, not before that. But there are exceptions. Some employers will allow anticipation of those days off before you reach the deadline of May 31st on the following year. But the RTT, on the other hand, they are accrued on an annual basis, on the basis of the calendar year. So from January 1st to December 31st. 5 weeks plus these RTT, so basically at least 7 weeks, that may seem a lot. So what happens if you're not able to take all the days off in a given year? Well, there are some mechanisms, or rather one mechanism, which is called CET, in French CET, which means Compte Épargne Temps. So it's a savings account, that's what Compte d'Épargne means, for time. And so you can store some of those days in that account, in that CET, and you can take them later, for instance, for a sabbatical. Or you can save them until you retire, and then you can retire a little earlier. So I guess that's it for today. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel and also give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time on French Differently. Thanks for watching. Bye now.